We've got a picture up now of a small business owner in Brooklyn with his mannequins, and I know he has an import business as well. And and we'll hear more details, was the victim of a cyber attack. He had, I think in a matter of hours, $1.2 million drained from his bank account. Was actually luckily able to get some of that back. And here with more details is Sarah Needleman. Sarah, thanks for joining us. So
my pleasure.
Tell us what happened to that small business owner, and then we'll try to draw some lessons for other small business owners about fighting cyber attacks.
Well, it was a typical day in May. The company's head of finance went online, tried logging into the company's bank account to make a payment to a vendor overseas, couldn't get online. Tried again, called the bank. The bank said nothing wrong on our end. And they surmised they probably had a virus, even though they had antivirus software on their computers. But hackers today are very, very clever, and they were able to work around that. And the next morning, when they were able to clean up their website and log back onto their banking website, they saw that $1.2 million had vanished.
And the small business owner, he was able to recover a lot of those funds. Tell us how he was able to do that, in the hopes of other people being able to do the same if something happens like that.
Well, he immediately notified his bank and asked them to issue retrieval notices to the recipient bank. So the money was transferred to 4 different banks, but it hadn't all been withdrawn yet. So in that time, by acting quickly, they were able to send retrieval notices to the recipients, and some of those recipients were able to send the money back. Now, some of them weren't. They have different policies on how they react to these sorts of things. But by putting some pressure on the banks over the days that followed and said, please look into this, he tapped some people in his network to get on the phone with some very senior officials at these banks, because these are large U.S. banks, and he was able to encourage them or push them to investigate the matter to send the money back. He also contacted the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the local police department, and filed reports with them. And he notified everybody in his workplace and said, you know, right now, be very cautious with what you're doing. And through all these processes, he was able to get a large portion of the money back.
And this, I mean, you had some really interesting statistics in your story. The cyber attacks happen and target a lot small businesses.
They actually happen more frequently now at small businesses than large ones, and that's because cyber hackers realize that the small businesses don't have as sophisticated controls as large companies.
They're vulnerable. We've got some numbers up there. You can see that from companies that have from 11 to 100 employees were a target of the vast majority of cyber attacks in this study. And you had a great list as well at the end of the story of kind of, you know, the top 3 or 4 things that small business owners can do to make sure these attacks don't hit them. What are some of those things?
Well, a lot of small business owners rely on free antivirus or anti-malware software. Spend the money on for at least one computer to be super outfitted with the best, latest, and greatest, and do all your financial transactions on that one piece of equipment. You want to get insurance, because the fact is hackers are always evolving. They're always getting better. So have that insurance backup, because even with the best, latest, and greatest, they manage to be very elusive and really can get in there. And then also have a list of contacts. You know, God forbid you do get hacked, you need to know who to call right away. Every second counts. You want to prevent that money from being withdrawn from wherever it's sent to. So have a list of numbers of who to call immediately at your bank, and also have police, law enforcement official numbers there too, and that will help mitigate the problem.
Sarah Needleman with details on how to protect small businesses. Thank you so much.